Charles's true feelings after dragging Harry back to the UK and removing Meghan are exposed. Hello, and a very warm welcome to LVT News, YouTube. A royal insider has claimed that King Charles loves his son, even if he doesn't like what Harry is doing. So the king must be feeling relieved and feeling good that Harry has decided to attend his coronation after all. And the king also has to feel incredibly happy that Meghan has decided that she wants to stay home in California. But it looks like Harry is going to have to face the consequences for his insolence, telling lies about his family and his decision to leave the UK suddenly for fame and fortune, which, of course, he never found. Harry's going to sit with the non-working royals. He's not going to pay homage to his father the way that his brother will. And nobody is going to want to speak with him. How can they talk about anything when they know that whatever they say might end up in a trashy memoir or fodder for another reality show? While it may be a relief to the king that Harry is coming, Charles is still no fool. He understands that Harry has ruined his chances of making a comeback without Meghan, thanks to everything that has happened ever since Harry married her. King Charles has a country he's got to look after, and Harry needs to be shelved most of the time in order for the king to make certain that the people of the UK will be happy. Allowing Harry to come to the coronation simply doesn't mean that the king is going to suddenly start taking his nasty phone calls and his demands for money. In fact, I think the truth is far from it. If anything, King Charles's plan to support the son who is going to follow him when the time comes. Prince William, the monarchy has to come first. The survival of the monarchy is important, and the king is smart enough to understand that. Harry has brought pain upon himself because of everything that he has said and done. Meghan knows this. And she's going to be trying to make some big news on Coronation Day by opening up her old blog. Probably, of course, this was the blog that she started when she was a want-to-be famous actress. Now she wants to be just like Gwyneth Paltrow would be, an influencer. And I don't think it's going to work out very well, though. Because who in the world is Meghan going to have any influence over other than her husband, the kids she claims to have? Meghan has already started her campaign, though. I just saw a bunch of photos of artificial release just in time for his birthday. He doesn't even look like the same child in any of the photos. And also, of course, they cover up his head as usual. I'm curious if Meghan believes that she's going to get a lot of money for photos of those invisible kids. Maybe she thinks that's how she can make herself some big money, like Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, for example. But the problem is Angelina and Brad, they gave all their money to charities. Meghan's charity begins right in her pocket. For royal fans and even for heads of state, the coronation of King Charles is going to be the news that people want to focus on. Mixed feelings, whereby the father, Charles, would be happy, his immediate family would get to see his lifetime achievement, but is guarded in the hope of how Harry is going to be received and if he's gonna act right. But King Charles does need to be careful. He has to focus on his duty to the monarch in his new position, but at the same time, he needs to try not to flaunt the lavish lifestyle that he has offered because of that role whereby he gets licensed for poor behavior to people taking advantage of the lifestyle. By extension, Harry certainly wouldn't want to cut the tie that binds, especially now when that association could prove to be very lucrative. Harry's probably going to try to manipulate his father's feelings at a time when the king can least afford it. It's a lot like the situation with Prince Andrew. To see the perks of being the sovereign son certainly run out when the sovereign passes away. We're just going to have to wait and see how all of this plays out. In other news, it looks like Meghan is done with Harry. She doesn't want to get booed, even though Harry left his own family, his own country. For her, it is never going to be enough. Her plan of world domination and leadership has failed. She and Harry are now just a laughingstock all around the world. But, of course, Meghan will not accept that this is her fault. It is to be Harry's fault. Harry has proven himself to be incredibly weak. He hasn't been there for Meghan, and she had to turn to another man, Tyler Perry, for help. Meghan and Harry just assumed that Oprah interview in the docu-series, the podcast series, the articles, and finally spare. "We're going to get everybody on their side." Well, of course. That didn't happen because in spite of what they claim, they are not authentic and they're so dishonest. Maybe she and Harry won't get divorced right away, but their relationship is done because a relationship that was founded upon lies and bitterness can never last. Meghan has to be aware, too, that most people in the UK do not like her. I think she felt that at the Jubilee celebration and only a few months later, at the funeral for the late Queen. She and Harry did